Uh, if you're God, the illusion becomes reality. About what kind of the noise you get? I don't know what that means. Is it the sensual world? The despotic world? Society? The destructive sanctions? Or press enter. It's Halloween season, everyone! We're playing, I think, something spooky as far as I can tell. There's like blood on the screen. Look, that's like blood. I'm not sure if it captures the cursor. This game has been creeping me out just because nothing worked. I tried alt-tabbing to like check that like the recording's working, and then Streamlabs disappeared. Then I alt-tabbed back to the game, and the game like icon disappeared. And then I tried to change settings in the game, and the game closed itself and crashed. I'm uncomfortable. Let's play! We're playing Chaos Child! Also known as definitely not Stein's game. Play. This is a visual novel, right? So I mean, I have to read November 6, 2009 AD, 10:28 p.m. Oh, it's progressing at your own pace. Nice. It came without warning. Oh, a video. What came without warning? Not it. Where are we? Helicopter. It's a terrible looking helicopter. Ah. And then there was white. It was a magnitude 7.8 earthquake with an epicenter directly under the city. Now, Chaos Child. I know you might not know what an earthquake is, but earthquakes typically don't begin with a giant flash of light into the sky. Why is everything red? This disaster reduced one of Tokyo's busiest downtown areas to nothing in a single night. Shibuya? Shibuya, or Tokyo. No, Shibuya. That's Shibuya. That's 10-9. Or 10-4. Which one's the real one? I play too much World Ends with you to remember which one the real one is. A high-rise building that had birthed so many trends and fads collapsed, as if giving up on their role in society. Black fire spread through the city. That's a shorter sentence than I expected. As individuals fell into the grip of the crowd's psychology, their terror was magnified, combined. All of these things took many lives. This is a visual novel. The final death toll was 3,851. The final number of injured were 30,000. That's not. Is that bad? I don't know. Like for like magnitude 8 earthquakes, if that's like a high or low number. This event would later be known as the Shibuya earthquake. Alrighty. Even in all that destruction. It's the beginning of the. It's a long night. I lost all my like footage for a different game, so we're playing this one. Even if all that destruction, people still suffered the most in their hearts. Ah, wording. If this wasn't Japanese, we'd be doing better. Some who had lost their families came together to share new resolve, while others who had been forced to watch their friends die were driven by guilt to take their own lives. Ah, this is a downer already. As a baby was miraculously reunited with its parents after 72 hours, a child in an evacuation center asked her dad, "When's mommy coming home?" He had no answer. I am the least empathetic person, by the way. That's now, Fox. You could relate to like people dying. They're like, no, I can't. I just can't. I don't feel bad for them. I'm sorry. Some of the wounded made it to hospitals by looking at real-time updates on the web. Such a weird sentence. Others saw people on the internet talking about the disaster as if it were a movie and were driven mad. Isn't this in 2009? But this is 2009. A homeless man was saved from malnutrition by an organized volunteer group. At the same time, a middle school boy punched a self-centered volunteer who came to Shibuya to find himself in the face. It was the first time in that boy's life that he'd ever been violent. Tips? What do you mean I got a new tip? Post-traumatic stress disorder. What? Was there gameplay? Oh no. Psychological toll was incredible, and many of the survivors would later manifest symptoms similar to those associated with PTSD. The young were hit the hardest. Before long, the cause of those symptoms were given a name. Chaos Child Syndrome. I see. It sure didn't have something to do with the giant flashing light. Rebuilding happened at a feverish pitch never seen before. It felt inappropriate to say, hang in there, but people felt that somebody had to do something. The new slogan was Shibuya, a city reborn, and no amount of money or manpower was spared in aiding the endeavor. Endeavor. The whole town was at the grip of a fever. Bleh, wording. In private, a leader of... This is a lot of exposition. I understand it's a book, but like... A leader of the redevelopment efforts said, "This may sound unkind, but this frenzy feels like a town burying its grief by holding a festival. That's the best way to bury your grief. Someone's never read Higurashi." Building codes were rigorous, rigorously evaluated with an eye toward earthquake engineering, perhaps an effort to emphasize the city's safety. Security cameras were put up all over the town. Shibuya would become a place where everyone could live in peace. And then the earthquake hit again. But at the same time, a rumor began to spread about the earthquake. That it wasn't an earthquake? Something about this earthquake doesn't make sense. Like the giant flashes of light. There were no aftershocks. And the damage had spread in a strange way. Almost like an explosion. Harajuku and Epsu areas, only a kilometer away from Shibuya, suffered few casualties and even fewer collapsed buildings. So did only Shibuya take damage? This damage pattern had never been observed in any prior earthquake, so more than a few pundits claimed the Shibuya earthquake must have been artificial. No, really? The targeted earthquake? Come on. More than anything, some of the survivors all said the same thing. There was a giant flash of light. I saw a white light, yeah, see? I heard a sound like ringing in my ears. Too many people experienced this for anyone to laugh it off, but no cause of those phenomena was ever found. It was just more evidence to those who believed that something about the earthquake had been wrong. 10-7. It's always fun to see how people change like a 10-4. It's 10-7 in this game. 6 years after the strange earthquake in 2015. Oh, we're in 2015 now. Something else was about to attract the attention of the reborn city of Shibuya. Kiss Child. Oh, is this music? Oh no. Is this copyrighted? Why is there... Ugh. Children. Snow Fox said, "Oh, I know you're playing a game that has child in the name." September 7th, 2015, Sunday night. It has child.
ではいつも通り3分くらい募集をかけるんで、適当によろです。
Okay, I wasn't aware there was voice acting in this game. Is there English for this, or do I just have to translate everything? I can just translate everything, I guess. Okay, I'm going to take 3 minutes for questions. Get to it. The second he spoke, the comment box started to fill. That's the comment box, obviously. Yuma Otani watched it for a few seconds and then saw the request. What does Haru tell us? She's dating somebody? He smiled to himself. Just what he wanted. Most of the requests were about hot actors or cute idols. His audience was so stupid that it was easy to tell exactly what they were going to ask. The problem was always whether the name that came up was someone he knew. That was a question of luck, and of how popular they were. Haru. But Haru, her full name was Haruko or something or other. She was fine. I have no idea what's happening. Just a few days ago, he had forced himself to go to an event he'd rather have skipped, and seen it for himself.
Yosh.
Okay. Yosh. Satisfied, Otani got up to get some snacks, like he always did. It's gonna be a long story. He lived in a one-bedroom condo located 8 minutes from Shibuya Station. Cost 150,000 yen per month. I also don't know the cost of Shibuya, I'm afraid. It had been built after an earthquake, so the furnishing and layout were modern. Modern for 2015, at least. A little more room would have been nice, but compared to the 40,000 yen per month place he lived in the past year, it was heaven.
来年にはもうちょっと便利なところに引っ越すか。
Next year, maybe I'll move somewhere more convenient. At 21 years old, Oltony felt satisfied for the first time in his life. In 4th grade, he got in big into online gaming and stopped going to school. Eventually, he stopped leaving his room altogether. So he's a shut-in. Then he got addicted to drugs. I see. He's just a horrible person. Addicted to drugs that made him sleepy, but did nothing else. Once, seeing only darkness in his future, he planned to commit suicide. But you're going on a real big spiral here. In the chaos after the earthquake 6 years ago, he'd finally managed to leave his room, but his family had already given up on him. I really hope we are not him. After he failed his attitudes. Buddy, come on. He went to live in his own place in Shibuya, and he hadn't spoken to his parents since. As far as they do, he'd failed the exams 3 times in a row. In fact, he hadn't gone to the test after the first time. There wasn't anything he wanted to learn in college, or any companies he wanted to work for badly enough. What about money? How are you affording your plane? He had no goal for life, at all. But things were different now.
アットちゃんにもたまには本当のことが書かれてるもんだ。
Maybe At-chan does
チーズでいいか。
tell the truth sometimes? Guess I'll have some cheese. Just to truly point this out, I've never understood a sentence less than maybe At-chan does tell the truth sometimes. Guess I'll have some cheese. What? What? He took a block of cheap cheese. Why are we eating cheese? Bought at the supermarket out of the fridge. Usually he never ate anything this cheap. And why are you eating it? You don't have to eat cheap cheese. But I saw Nikorina live streaming. It wasn't just what you said. It was how you looked when you said it also mattered. Also, he wasn't a good king man, let alone a cute girl. He was just a plain old guy. So to keep his program popular, does he eat awful things? He did make them think that he was poor, barely managing to scrape by. In fact, that's why he kept the area around his PC and the parts of the apartment that you could see with the webcam completely played. Last month, he finally reached his goal of 4,000 views. It's more than me. I'm making fun of this guy a lot, but he's clearly I'm no man. For a man with nothing going for him, ultimately, this was extremely unusual. 3 months ago, he'd guessed the winners of a popularity contest a certain idol group was holding, as well as their total number of votes. That must have really paid off. After that, his numbers had gone up. Late last month, when his streams had appeared at the top of Nikonori's page, he'd seen a huge increase. Screw you, okay? Right now, he had gotten above 4,500, and it was quite possible to break 5,000 by the end of the month. I hate this guy already. It was around late last year when he started to wonder about his power. What power? It was a certain rumor on one of Achan's occult boards that made him really start to realize what he had. Oh, was the flash of light something that gave you a weird power? The name he chosen for his stream subtly reflected this. Then I learned that I can see the future. I see. No, I know it said from the makers of Stein's Gate, but I really didn't see the time travel part. He took out a knife to cut the cheese. And this is where the government comes and kills. There was a strange sound.
Huh?
You mean knocking? A strange... That's knocking. If I'd imagined it when... There's more knocking. Knock, 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 knock. He heard it again. It was coming from the door. Someone was clearly knocking on his door.
Mitsurin ka?
Got a new tip. Jungle. Jungle, maybe. This man makes no sense when he speaks. Suspicious, he walked towards the door to answer, then checked the clock. It was 11:41 p.m. Not exactly normal delivery hours.
なんだよ。つか、生放送中だっつうの。
Come on, I'm streaming right now. Does he just stream his pathetic life of eating like really inexpensive cheese? You try to ignore it, but that is a very patient person with like just a gentle, like perfectly paced knock. The knocking continued. It was the same rhythm, at the same pace. That's what I said. As if the visitor's goal wasn't to come inside, but to simply make that sound. Utsuni felt a bit creeped out. He decided to go to the intercom camera to see who it was, but then realized that that would be pointless, because he could see the future. Only the auto-locking door on the first floor had the camera. The door in Okuni's room on the 5th floor had an intercom, but no camera, and he forgot that at this crucial time. Utsuni gave up. Damn, if you want something, push the intercom button. He's definitely going to get murdered, right? Knock, knock, knock. Maybe it's a drunk? You know, for a guy that can see the future, he sure doesn't know who his guest is. No, the knocks were too steady for that. There was no voice yelling at him to open up. He'd seen this door a million times, but suddenly it looked somehow different. Someone he didn't know was on the other side of the wall, demanding entry in the middle of the night. Somehow this made the door seem intimidating. Although he thought he might look through the peephole to see who was outside, he was then disgusted to find himself too scared to even get close to the door. Wait, the intercom didn't have a camera, but it did have a microphone. He turned toward the living room so he could use the intercom and find out what they wanted. Utsuni, it's me. Sorry to come so suddenly. He stopped when he heard the voice. Huh? It's me. I'm very sorry to bother you at this hour. Utsuni tried to remember who the speaker was, but found he's like, I don't know who this person is. Just go to a random door knock and be like, it's me. And be like, I don't think I know this person. But from the tone of the voice and the words, probably weren't a weirdo. When I said, I'm sorry, it sounded like they really meant it. Utsuni sighed softly with relief, and then realized he was still carrying the knife he had been using to cut the cheese. Utsuni's going to kill someone. It suddenly felt stupid to feel so nervous. He quickly laid the knife on top of the sink. No, Utsuni! Hi, I opened it now. Who is it? It's me. Don't you remember? The voice simply repeated itself. But who are you? Utsuni whispered to himself as he opened the door. Huh? Utsuni narrowed his eyebrows at the people standing there. He looked them up and down, and then looked at their faces again. Their eyes met. Who are you, guy? Utsuni suddenly felt a piercing headache. Utsuni closed his eyes and put his hand right up to his temple. He could feel the blood pounding in his veins through his fingers. He staggered and quickly put the other hand against the wall to keep from falling over. The pain was like in the old days when he had overdosed on antidepressants, but much more intense. He gritted his teeth again. The pain, and dug in his nails into the wall, was holding him up. As he waited for the pain in his fingers to help dull the pain in his mind, Mr. Nosny, are you okay? You heard the voice he heard many times before, and felt a concerned hand on his shoulder. He somehow managed to ignore the pain and open his eyes. A worried face was peering down at him.
ああ、大丈夫。最近たまにあるんだ。
I'm fine. It just happens sometimes lately. 大丈夫. Of work, perhaps? You've been so busy lately. You shouldn't push yourself too hard.
相変わらず心配性だな、お前は。大丈夫だよ。さあ、入ってくれ。
His job is eating cheese and looking poor. Like, I don't think he's overworked. You're always such a worrier. I'm fine. Come in. He opened his mouth as wide as he could and moaned, trying to ease the pain as he let his important guests inside. As he turned his back on his guests, he told himself that it had been a long time since he'd seen them, or maybe not. It couldn't have been more than 2 months since they'd last met. It only felt long because he wanted to see them so badly.
そうだ。せっかく来てもらったのにすまん。生放送中なんだよ。
Oh, right. It was nice of you to come by, but I'm streaming. Right? While he was out, he decided he would cut some cheese for himself and his guests. You gotta stop with the cheese, man. Oh, don't worry about us.
いや、お前ら相手にそういうわけにもいかないだろ。
No, I can't do that to you guys. Hmm? What's wrong?
いや、なんでもない。
No, it's nothing. The blade wasn't cutting into the cheese. Imagine not being able to cut cheese. Like, that's something that you cut with a string. Like, or wire, rather. Like, it's not a difficult substance to cut. That's strange, he told himself as he pushed down with more force. He cut into its surface, and it made an unpleasant sound he'd never heard before. But no matter how hard he pushed, it wouldn't go any further. Confused, he yanked the knife back and forth like a saw, but only cut slightly deeper. As if there was something hard inside the cheese. And even though he had only just taken it out of the fridge, it was slightly warm. Saw, what's going on with this thing? Irritated, he slammed the handle of the knife against the cheese. But all it did was bash it in a little. He couldn't cut through. God damn it. I'll help you. His guests must have heard the sound because they rushed over. They had another knife. Why did they have a knife? When did they get that out? There's a trick to cutting this thing. That does not sound like cheese they're cutting. They put the knife against the cheese. We get the move in a more practiced hand. I understand I go into a lot of these games blindly, but this is a bizarre opening to a game. An earthquake and then struggling to cut cheese on a live stream. It sounds like your work is going well. They smiled at Otani, their voices slightly low. Otani realized that they were trying to keep their voices from being picked up by the streaming microphone, and lowered his voice as well. Yeah. He grinned and nodded. His guest had introduced him to a firm that handled advertising space for popular websites, which had been giving him regular work. His reputation had quite quietly spread throughout the small web advertising industry, and soon he was getting more and more offers. This job's all about predicting trends, so it's perfect for me. I can't lose. Says the man who can't predict his guests. Then why do you do these streams?
一言では言いづらいな。強いて言えば、自分がどこまでいけるか試したいみたいな感じなんだけど。
It's hard to say. I guess you could say I'm trying to see how far I can go. That's right. His power wasn't meant to be wasted on jobs that anyone could do.
誰も経験したことないから、誰かに聞くってわけにいかないだろ。だから自分でやれるだけやってみたいっつうか。ってかっこよすぎか、これは。
I like how only some things are voiced, and the things that are voiced in Japanese. No one's done this before, so I can't ask anyone about it, you know? So I want to do everything I can by myself. Or am I sounding like a show-off? No, it's wonderful, I think. And done. After he smacked it a few times, the cheese was a little funny. A little funny looking, but the even slices were lined up neatly on the plate. It's mainly just cheese. Sorry to make you help like that. It's nothing. Go on. I'll wait until your stream is finished. Remember, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We really need to get to 100, and that would greatly help the channel. And also do all the interaction-y bits on the video. Remember to like and hit that bell button and leave a comment. It helps with all of the He's just like really bad at streaming. Thanks. If you want something from the fridge, grab it. Oh, but be quiet. What is? That does not look like cheese, does it? Well, I guess the inside looks like cheese. What's when you took the cheese? Sorry, is that like an entire wheel of cheese? What's when you took the cheese back? The man's like, I'm poor, buys like $50 worth of cheese. I took the cheese back to his seat and saw a flood of comments reading, "He's late. Did he log off?" What should have been only there, what should have only been 3 minutes had turned into a little more than 15. That's a lot of cheese. Then he put a bite of cheese in his mouth and began to chew loudly. So sorry, I bought this cheese on sale. It's just so incredibly hard. He apologized to the camera, remembering to keep up with the act of being poor and starving. You're not starving, you're eating cheese. And as he hoped, the comments started to come in. Is that all I have to do? Is that all I have to do to, like, do better on YouTube? Is just, like, pretend to be, like, really, really poor? I mean, I am really, really poor and can't afford food or anything. Loading face took a confused expression. The comments were strange. You thought there might be something on the camera, but he turned around and saw only his fake poor room. Is something wrong? He spoke into the camera, but the comments still didn't make any sense. They were coming in faster. Maybe there was a problem with the camera. He reached his hand out and toward it. In an instant, his headache was back. It was the same pain as before. No, worse. He closed his eyes and jerked forward, banging his head against the desk. But the pain in his head was so bad that it didn't even feel it. He tried to hold his head in his hands, but for some reason, his right hand wouldn't move. So instead, he pushed his other hand up against his temple. It felt squishy. The vein was incredibly swollen and like rubber. And each time he felt his blood pulse through it, there was an unpleasant sensation in his fingers. Why is there a close-up on the cheese for this, though? He stamped his feet against the floor, hoping to find some small escape from the pain. But it didn't even get slightly better. It was then that he realized he was still crying. He couldn't feel the tears coming from his eyes, but the pain was moving there now, too. Unable to bear it, he opened his eyes. He gasped. The whole scene appeared in front of him like some sort of awful magic trick. What's going on? He suddenly heard sound of something wet dripping on the floor. His eyes reflectively turned towards it. What do the comments say here? That's so creepy. Do you guys think Neil's sick? Those are hard to read just against the background. His eyes reflectively turned toward it. His right arm was gone at the elbow, and his stump was gushing blood. There was a pool of it on the floor. The sound he heard was the new blood splattering into it. Huh? Well, he didn't understand what happened to him. What was going on? He'd just gone to check on a knock at the door. The pain screamed within him. Any sense of pain in what remained on his right arm was overcome by the pain in his head. He felt nothing from his arm at all, though he saw the blood dripping to the floor. I get the feeling that might not have been cheese he was getting. What the hell's going on? He blinked and forced his aching eyes to function as he looked around the room. On top of his desk, he found the rest of his arm. It was sitting on a plate. At first, it looked like it was still in one piece, but it wasn't. It was neatly sliced into uniform pieces. Each piece was about a centimeter wide, and the slices moved neatly toward his fingers. They sat upon the plate roughly in his arm's original shape. Miraculously, he saw there was no blood on the tip of his index finger. He didn't understand that it was really his own arm. But sheer disgust at what he saw caused him to leap out of his chair. What was this? What kind of prank was this? The contents of his stomach flooded into his mouth. He vomited. Pink fluid splashed against the desk. He saw something solid in the middle of it. It was a thumb. It was covered in bite marks, saliva, and stomach acid, but horribly he remembered it. What? When had he put that into his mouth? In his pain-filled mind, he suddenly heard a sound he'd never heard before. Each time he heard the sound, the pain in his head got worse. He turned towards the camera, hoping for an answer to what was happening. But of course, there was none to be found. The screen was still filling with comments, but his eyes were too filled with tears for him to read them. As the world turned red, Otani didn't even realize that his lips were turning purple. His lips had turned purple from the lack of oxygen, but were stained red with blood from his severed thumb, which he had chewed himself. As he tried to fight the pain, he began to fall unconscious, and the tears from his eyes. The tears seemed pink to him. Otani was weeping blood. This isn't one of those games that use, like, pink blood, is it? That'd be mildly annoying. He died, still facing the camera. His guest watched the chain of events unfold, then silently headed for the door. Just before they left the room. Goodbye. They said it as nothing was wrong and shut the door. Is that a Sony Vaio? Vaio? That's like a Vaio or Vaio. Vaio? What's the Sony laptop that has like the weird name? September 19th, 2015, Friday night. Momone Takayanagi had finished her concert. Like always, she stayed behind to help put away the instruments. She even helped clean up the audience's seats, even though that was the concert hall's job. Only after all that was done could she take a break. There wasn't much time left before the solo street concert, but she still had to help anyway. She's always been like that. Even if it wasn't her responsibility, she couldn't help but get involved. It was like in middle school, when one of her friends, who wasn't as good at studying, asked her for test notes. I'm sorry, we've really moved from, like, there was a horrible earthquake to a guy was eating cheese and actually eating his own arm, to a concert. What is happening? Good for creepy season, though. Middle school for test notes. Or in high school, when a girl she knew asked her how to make Valentine's chocolate for a boy she really liked. You could just buy it, you don't have to make it yourself. She stayed up so many nights for her own test grades were worse than her friends. And didn't even have anyone to give chocolates to on Valentine's Day. Again, for Valentine's Day, you could technically just give them to anyone. There's technically no rule saying you have to choose a specific person. In the end, it was the other person's responsibility, not hers, but... Basically, I'm just a huge wuss. Boy, we need more likable characters in this game. Oh god, we have to do this again. Mamune Takayanagi was at heart scared of not doing everything she could, even if everything wasn't her responsibility. I'm okay at sight reading Japanese. The concert today was another big success. Sure, it was a tiny room, but they could fit that they could only fit in 150 people or so. Standing... These people keep being like, it's just a small concert. Like, can we stop one-upping everything I do, please? Standing only, but the tickets were 3,000 yen. High for a band with an amateur vocalist like her. And they still sold out instantly. That's great! Does she have some, like, musical power that's gonna cause her to kill herself too? It was bizarre how excited the crowd was. She heard sobs during the ballad, and during one of the high-tempo songs, the audience had stood up all the way to the back row. What a... That's just how concerts work. Come on, this is impossible. She felt a chill and hugged herself tightly. It's not that her band wasn't popular. Apparently they're very popular. They started out in the Nikanya Sang It category, and I kept going by doing covers of popular anime songs. Hells yeah! Okay, so, sorry, remember the take notes from Everything's Happening's game. What we have to do is we have to look really sad and pathetic. Be like a poor person eating cheese on stream. And then what we'll do is just cover anime songs. This is how to make a perfect channel. My voice is dying. It helped that her face, which had earned her the nickname Scarecrow in school, could really look good when she wore makeup. So does she look like a scarecrow? Or what? And who gives the nickname Scarecrow? And if all of them put on ridiculous costumes and acted like idiots, some people would enjoy that. See, what I gotta do is put on a bunch of weird costumes, look like a scarecrow, and sing anime music. We taking notes, guys? Videos of the concert and performance pulled a decent number of views online. But Takayanagi... See, this is where we just stutter over it because I haven't read it, but... Takayanagi... Takanyagi noticed. I said it perfectly like 4 times. The vast majority of people looking at the videos were people who'd come to her concerts. People who had experienced that insane intensity were going back to the videos to try to feel it again. Takayanagi knew that they probably wouldn't feel even 1% of it. It's just impossible. The ticket prices and audience sizes were one thing, but the strangest thing to her was the eyes. So it was their eyes. Their eyes pierced right through her, unblinking. That sounds like a normal thing. They were like pets, totally dependent on their master. Okay. Takayanagi. We'll have to have an intervention with all of the characters in this story. They like you. The meaning of the lyrics began to take over their lives, and they never questioned it. Were the lyrics "Go to our concerts and give us all your money"? No, sorry, they're anime songs. So is it like? So we're doing like Unravel? Are we doing TK songs? There has to be something wrong with my voice. What is this game about, by the way? When she first realized that this was happening, she tried to quit the band. Even if she couldn't, she at least wanted to stop doing the live shows, where people heard her directly. But the others around her wouldn't let that happen. Your voice is amazing, they would tell her. They forced her to keep singing, even if the concerts began to terrify her. I mean, people keep telling me I sing well as well, and then just keep insisting I perform for them constantly. I'm like, I don't want to. I don't sing well, thank you. Takayanagi tried to get out of it, but in the end, she kept giving in. She owed her fellow band members for getting a plain dull girl like her into music. The plain dull girl scarecrow. Walk on stage, like, hello, my name's Kakashi. We are covering Naruto's songs. And for a while, part of her managed to have fun. Because it's Scarecrow, get it? But in the end, Takayanagi lacked the tiny bit of courage needed to break out of the cycle. She forced herself to get up and head toward the street concert, which she didn't really want to do. She received an email. She read it slowly. No way. She almost dropped her smartphone. She read it again and again, trying to control her shaking hands. It was nothing special, it was just a simple message about one of the songs she made. Good song. Keep it up. Can I have nice comments like that? Remember guys, if you're enjoying the videos, make sure to comment, nice video, keep it up. See, we gotta do the call to action. See, the videos are helping me remember. No way. Takayanagi tried to stop the tears, but couldn't. Then we get too many messages like this to count, especially after concerts. She knew it was rude, but to be honest, she was sick of them. She gets like just a nice message, like, I really like that. Just like, how could any? But the email address wasn't for her band. It was one for a site where she had anonymously uploaded the original songs. In other words, whoever sent the message hadn't come to her concerts. They never heard her voice live, or felt its strange power. But they still said they liked her song. Really? Wiping away the tears that wouldn't stop, she quickly wrote a response. That makes me really happy. Thank you. Remember guys, if you comment on this video, nice video, keep it up. I'll comment, oh crap, what was the previous thing? Thanks, that makes me really happy is what I'll comment back. Even after she sent it, she kept crying for a while, and then I'll cry in my room. See, this is just instructions on how to be a good content creator. She hadn't cried this much since the earthquake. Then she suddenly gained musical ability. Then she stood up. Stupid things. She took her costume for today's concert out of her bag, balled them up, and threw them into the trash. It was a white caped outfit, worn by some angel character in some anime. Okay, sorry, now we have to think this through. Angel character in an anime. Certain fans really loved it, but didn't care about it at all. Who made Stein Skate again? Oh my god, I'm blanking on this. I can't think of who that would be, so. She took a wet towel off a nearby table and violently wiped away her makeup. I think I'm okay with being a scarecrow. Why? This is like another thing that happened. It's not Nanyan Biori. What's that other show? It has the main character that like poses like a scarecrow all the time. Has the girl that eats books. I can't remember. Whatever. She was never wearing another cape or putting on makeup to look like an anime character again. Well, joke's on you. You are in chaos, child. The anime. Never she said aloud. She realized she was more excited than she'd ever been before. And then she started to realize what she wanted to do. Become a content. I guess I could just leave Shibuya. I'm sure things are going to get messy here. And then she moved into an apartment and ate cheese on a live stream. What would happen, she said, was going to What would happen if she said she was going to quit the band? It caused trouble for a lot of people. Definitely her band was scheduled to play in the Restoration Festival. But even so, she never wanted to sing at another concert.
いつもストリートライブをやってる道は常連さんと勝ち合っちゃまずいから避けて。
I shouldn't use the street where I've done shows.
大丈夫かこの顔だし。
Or my fans will see me. I'll be fine with this face. She laughed and kissed her smartphone.
やばい。楽しい。
Oh wow, this is so much fun. I'm sorry, was the scarecrow not the makeup? Or is she saying like scarecrow like being plain and unnoticeable? I guess I don't know what a Japanese scarecrow looks like. She couldn't wait to get home and started fiddling with her music. Over the web, she could really share her music with others. I also have music with Steph Function at the piano. Never listen to the music. This is just... That's just great advertising all around, isn't it? As long as they weren't hearing her voice live, it would be fine. She just played a recording from a speaker, for example.
小型のスピーカーなら
I've
家
got
に
a
もあ
small
った
speaker in
な。
my house, don't I? That's right. She lived Shibuya, and when she had a few more songs, she could record them and play them at the street concert. That speaker was small enough that she could fit it under her clothes and fool people. Why don't you just want to sing? It would be rude to do the same song every time, so each time she'd re-record it at home. What? Oh, I get the feeling this character is also about to die. So who's ready for character number 3? There was a knock at the door. One of the staffers, maybe?
あ、もう出ますから。
Oh, geez, I'm coming. She smiled and answered them. Now that she'd thrown away her clothes, her bag was lighter than she'd ever imagined it would be. But what she really threw away was her heart! The lightness made her think about the future. She was happy. That's like 7 death flags. Stop this. Knock? Knock?
Hi, hi!
Yes, yes. Takanami happily danced toward the door, completely ignorant of what was on the other side. A friendly person who spoke kindly to her. Sorry, it's a group of people, isn't it? Huh? September 19th, 2015, Friday night. Shortly after she finished, she was walking through Shibuya. She had a limp, dragged one leg behind her as if it was injured. Her bangs were unnaturally long, most of her face was covered by them. She wore a dark-colored dress and seemed to melt into the night, and above it, a bright red cardigan. Her chest, arms, and legs were almost completely covered. Despite the fact that it was night, was warm, she wore gloves, as if it were sin to show any skin at all. It's our same character?
ごめんなさい。
Oh, sorry. She ran into a couple coming out of a hotel and staggered slightly. That's an interesting outfit you have there. But she didn't even look at the people she ran into. She looked down and disappeared into the streets of Shibuya.
誰？きめえな。
What was that? Man, talk about creepy.
ねえ、今の人の顔、
Yeah.
見た？
Did you see her face?
あ？
No?
だよ。
Why?
気持ち悪い。
It was so
何
weird.
あれ？
What was that?
何？あの目。
Those eyes were so weird. Huh? Digital narrative. 1? Huh? Quick saved. Huh? Started chapter 1? What do you mean started chapter 1? Was that not chapter 1? What's happening? I think 2 of my characters are dead now. Do I have my character yet? Alright. Takaru Miyashiro. Shiro? I believe in Shiro. That sounds like deaf music already. I don't think he's surviving. For example, let's say you asked a kid in middle school, do you know what Schrodinger's cat is? Most would say, yes, sir, I've heard of it. The cat's either alive or dead. Duh. Well, start by limiting the DQNs, who say they've never heard of it. Next you ask, well, what was it? Next, we eliminate the poor fools who say, it's something about a cat in the box, right? Or there's this cat, but you don't know if it's alive or dead, right? It's about the concept that it's both alive and dead at the same time until you open the box. Or maybe they say, there's a cat in the box, and next to it, there's a device that may or may not give off poisonous gas. Why was it poisonous gas? I don't even remember that. You don't know if the cat's alive or dead until you open the box. Everyone knows that. I gotta keep adding things to it that it's like, this is continuing to be. I'm like, yes, I know. That's. We can eliminate those show-offs as well. Okay, thank you, game. Anybody from these groups is a wrong-sider. Thank you. The right answer would be to describe the experiment, and then say, it was a thought experiment proposed by Schrödinger to criticize the quantum mechanical theory that state collapse only occurs after human observation. I don't think that's what Schrödinger's cat is, actually. I think it's just the sorry, give the fifth answer of like, oh, it's just Schrödinger's pet cat. But barely anyone can do that. And I imagine that I'm the only guy who's still in high school who knows that Schrödinger got the idea after exchanging letters with Einstein. Did he? I don't know if this is factual. I hate wrong-siders. What a strange insult, by the way. I had taken a break from investigating the two incidents that had occurred recently in Shibuya, and was paging through some at-channel blog agitators for change of pace. As always, articles about bad idols and corporations with terrible work environments were getting tons of hits. Crash of 15. It was hard to believe that the crash of 15 was a huge news story, that it just happened this month. It was already on the front pages. Did these people reading and commenting on these sites realize that everything they read about corporations and idols was carefully controlled? Did they know that most of the big agitators, I keep saying agitators. Aggregator sites. Big aggregator sites. I don't know this word. Are corporations too? Did they realize that the comments were all manipulated to go in one direction or another? Okay, Mr. Conspiracy Man. Kids our age were living in a world where all the information you could ever want was right in your fingertips. To those of us in the enlightened generation, ignorance was the worst sin. The ignorant were self-righteous, easily manipulated, and eager to push their paper-thin worldview onto others. They're nothing but a nuisance. Yeah. The worst of the lot were the so-called otaku. Thank you. I couldn't stand otaku. They were wrong-siders. What is a wrong-sider? What is this? Take the picture on the cover of the magazine. It was from Bloodtune. I mean, it looks cool. What's wrong with it? The animation? Ooh. Can we play some Bloodtune after this? Any otaku who just watched it for the cute characters was a loser. I keep walking into these, right? It's like 1-2 punch from this game over and over. There was no point in watching a show if you were going to ignore the deeper themes. I mean, do have a degree in reading comprehension, so that works. I have themes. I couldn't stand. I can't pin down what the theme of this game is because it changes every 2 seconds. I couldn't stand people who still held to the old-fashioned idea that only otaku watch anime, that people who ignored a show's themes or just watched it for the cuteness were even worse. I mean, in Japan, everyone watches anime, so depends. Are we in Japan currently? Well, it's Shibuya incident, so it's the Shibuya incident when they locked Gojo in a box. They were ignoring the implicit social criticism in India.
Nani?
What? I stared at the magazine in amazement. Specifically, I stared at the box that listed the next episode previews. The text said that Aaron was missing.
Bakaka!
Idiots. Damn it, I let my guard down because I knew this episode was written by the guy who read the original manga. The original author doesn't know anything about his own work. How could you remove Aaron from the story halfway through? Not keeping her around meant that bringing all the internal drama that had been built up so far to a halt. God damn it. So much for my change of pace. I know I had work to do on the case, but I put it away because I couldn't find any link between the two crimes. I thought for a moment, and then took the magazine from its secret stash. Huh? Cool Cat Press. It was an issue of the older magazine called Cool Cat Press. What? People called it a dating guide for normals written by someone who had never dated a girl in his life. But you'd be surprised. Magic works to make any girl fall in love with you. So anyway, welcome back to our dating advice now. Stupid. I knew it was stupid. That's why I keep it around and keep it to my special plan. When I ran an internet search for the number one phrase, nothing came back. That was the thing. The fact that it didn't show up on the internet meant, to me, that it was worth something. I know this is extraordinarily selfish of me. May I fall in love with you?
何を
With who? Oh my god, an alive character. What are you doing? I turned the out with the voice. Huh? Oh no, when did you get here? I hid my favorite magazine behind my back and tried to calm my racing heart. Even if we've known each other since we were kids, don't just come in like that.
ノックしたよ。
I
てか、何そ
I
の
did
雑
not.
誌
So
面
what's that
白い
magazine?
の
Anything interesting? You were getting very close to the camera. It's nothing. It's just a love magazine. I couldn't let her find out. This was bad.
どうしたんだよ。
What's
なん
going
で
on?
制服着てるんだ。
Why are you wearing your
帰っ
school
たんじゃない
uniform?
のか。
Did you go home? What's behind your back? I'm cheating on you. Serica found.
今日の部活で
Serica.
事件のこと調べてこいって
You're the
言
one who
った
told
の
me to
タ
go
カじゃん。
investigate the crime scenes for our club today. Ah, I see. We're the crime investigation club. That's right.
はいこれ追加の現場周りの画像データ
More pictures from the crime scenes. How did you get to the crime? Oh my god, a real 16 gigabyte hard USB stick. Circa took a USB memory stick out of her purse.
お、
Oh,
ありがとう。
Could you
つい
transfer
で
it
に
to
僕の
my
PC に入れちゃ
computer
ってくれる
for
か。
me while you're at it? Do you not know how to... Guy, do you know how to transfer files from USB? Come on. Circa looked a little confused.
珍しいね
That's
自分の
rare.
PC 触ら
Never
せる
let
なんて
anyone touch your computer.
別に、お前はいいよ。
Not really. You're allowed.
ふん
Hmm? She didn't seem to think much of it as she started to copy the data off. Okay, that was my chance. Everything was cramped, but there was a lot of space for storage. I pretended to make some tea and tried to find room on the top shelf. Okay, there's just enough room for one more magazine. And then, I heard a pashoo sound, like a small frog from behind me. Oh, there's... I was waiting for the fill out and just didn't. I glanced back and saw that Serica was using a mouse with one hand and fiddling with her Garo Froggy Garo strap with the other. Garo. This was my chance. The Garo Froggy Garo. The Garo Froggy Garo strap was soft vinyl cell phone strap. I'd won in a candy contest when I was a kid. When you push its belly, it was supposed to go Garo. It turned out to be an incredibly rare prize that could fetch 100,000 yen at auction. But since I was a kid who didn't know any better, I gave it to Serica as a present. time to steal that bag? Circus seemed to really like it, and ever since she'd carried it with her. Well, obviously, she has 100,000 yen, like, cell phone, like, decoration, come on. Which, well, that was fine, but... It was old and faded, and when you pressed its belly, air leaked out from the side, which made a weird noise. It used to go garo, I think, but now it's just made a strange whooshing sound. Ever since she was a kid, she had a habit of fiddling with it, especially when she was nervous or focused on something. In other words, she was focused on the computer. Wait, the computer! That's why she has to hide it. I was like, here, I have to hide this perfectly normal magazine. Go on my computer, don't touch anything weird. I jammed the magazine at the shelf, and moved some things so she couldn't see it.
Mountain view でいいか?
Want a mountain view?
いいよ、もったいないじゃん。
Nah,
そ
don't
れに
waste it.
すぐに帰るし。
I will leave you in a moment anyway.
はい、終了。
Okay, all done. Those are some terrible pictures. There are quite a few files on the screen.
結構撮ったな。
You took a lot of pictures. Any luck?
成果は?
新しい発見はなかったよ。タクは新しい共通点見つかった？
Taku. I didn't say anything new. What about you, Taku? Find anything new that connects the two cases?
いや。
No. I shook my head, frustrated.
そっか。
I see.
まあ気長に行こう。
Well, let's
じゃ
not
あ
get
明
frustrated
日
yet.
部室で。
I'll see you in the club room tomorrow. Wink. She said she was about to leave. I got an idea.
あ、尾上。
Oh, no. He even said that. I have to read it. I need to double check my information. She was, in theory, a girl.
あのさ、例えばなんだけど。
I am just asking. But.
なんていうか、お前が告白されたとしてさ。
Let's say someone, again, not me, just in this circumstance, someone asked you out. No?
いや、だから例えば、こう言われたらどう？
Hypothetically.
誠に勝手なのですが、好きになってもいいですかって。
Again, not me. I must stress in this example that it's not me saying this. Just hypothetically, okay? What would you think if they said, I know this is I know this is extraordinarily... Damn it. I know this is Damn it. Just keeps tripping over the phrase. Like, this will make them fall in love with you. I know this is extraordinarily... I know this is extraordinarily selfish of me. May I fall in love with you?
さっき言ってたやつ？
Is that what you were just saying?
それはいいから。
Never mind that.
どう？
Again, what would you think if, hypothetically, someone, not me again, were to say that to you? Sarka thought for a moment.
年下なの？その人。
Is this person younger than me? I don't know my age relation to you. So... Ow. What? What? What's happening? What was that? Oh, sorry, the dialogue is,
丁寧語だから。
Since they're being polite. Since they're being so polite. That's true, come to think of it. What's happening here? Why was it so polite anyway?
年下なのかな。いや、そうじゃなくて、どう？
Maybe they are. I mean, never mind that. They're hypothetically, let's say they're my age. What do you think? Huh? Ne?
どうって、
Well,
丁寧だなって思うけど。
I think it's really polite, but
告白されたことないからよくわかんない。
nobody's ever asked me out, so I don't know. Chance!
他には何か思わないか？ こう、素敵だなと思ったりしないか？
Anything else? Like, oh, how romantic.
別に
Not really.
相手によるんじゃない？
That would depend on the person, right? Is it you asking? No, no, not me. Anyone but me. What's going on here, cool cat? Does this say positive? Negative? Positive? What is happening? It would depend on the person asking the question. The person's me. Of course it would. What is that?
忘れてた。
This game keeps you on your toes. It just does weird like shit every like 2 seconds. So you're like, what's happening? Oh, wait, I forgot. Circus stretched out her hand.
500円ちょうだい。
Give me 500 yen. Now. Chance more things pop up on the screen. Positive, negative, positive, negative. Will you give her 500 yen? Sorry, the... Yeah.
これこれ、忘れてた。
Here, I forgot. She showed me the paper bag she was holding.
さっきそこでゲンさんに会ったの。特にい
I
つ
just
も
ran
の
into
だって
Jen.
言って渡してくれって。
Again.
特価で500円でいいって立て替えたの。
Sorry, I have to facepalm for a moment because I said Gen instead of... I said Jen instead of Gen. Getting. Come on. I just read it again. He gave me this. Said it was your usual. Paid him 500 yen for it.
いつもの
My usual? Huh? Confused, I took the bag from her. Gen's usual changed every time I talked to him, so I couldn't count on it. What was it today? What? More love magazines. That drunk old bastard.
何？いつものって。
What's your usual?
なんでもない。
Ah!
ほら、500円。
So the guy was like, give this to him. Say it's your usual. It gives you like something super embarrassing. Usually 500 yen. Force 500 yen to her hands. Ignoring her persistent questions, I led her to the door.
明日、学校で。
See you at school tomorrow. 2 people died like 30 minutes ago, right?
え？
Yeah.
データはありがとう。助かった。
Thanks for the pictures. They're a big help.
わかったよ。
Tasukada's help? Was it thanks for big help? I didn't hear big. Fine. Reluctantly, she left my room. Damn it. Sure, this was what I always bought from Gen. But the information in the last one was no good. What the heck was a cool cat anyway? A cold cat? Is it because it's dead? Huh? 100 ways to secretly show your sexy side.
じゃない。
No. I needed to hide this one too. But I had so many of them now. I was running out of room on the top shelf. It's not hidden. When I tried to force it in, a mountain of old papers came falling out. Damn it, no room, huh? What's this? It was an old scrapbook about murders that had occurred 6 years ago in Shibuya. I bought it from Gen too. Come to think of it. I already scanned it, but I had forgotten to throw out the original. How could I, of all people, be so lax with information? I just have to bundle it with the rest of my collection. My eyes lingered for a second on the page. Come to think of it. Huh? I quickly ran over to my PC. I opened the files on the case that I've been looking for.
マジか。
Seriously. My words were a whisper. I looked back at the scrapbook and then compared it to the day on the computer. Sorry, on the PC. There was no doubt. I kept looking at it. I kept saying the same thing. But this... My hypothesis was correct. Or right, sorry. I'm sure even the police haven't noticed. Oh god, that's so much reading. Oh god, what is the... Ow, am I... Wait. 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 I'm sorry, I didn't expect to just suddenly be on like a computer. On a computer. Within the computer. This is... Oh my god. Name. Finance. Milk Girl. Reproduction prohibited. Off-go tobacco.co.japan. Submitted. 2015, September 28th. ID missing. Ooh. Lately, stickers with the face of a sumo wrestler have been appearing all around Shibuya. Lately, stickers with the face of sumo wrestlers have been appearing all around Shibuya. That's a repeat. I started to see the signs of them on guardrails in Shibuya 5 or 6 years ago. There's a lot of stickers to graffiti artists, but Shibuya, popular, huge. Sorry, I wasn't where I had to play things in this game. Wait, do I actually have to solve the murders myself? Oh, that's gonna be hard. I thought this was gonna be a fun little relaxing fish novel. What's this? Dead on arrival? What? Filter. I don't know what Perez would be. 3B. E-check. What? Oh, I could just scroll. I guess it's like use the arrow keys to scroll, you can just actually use the mouse. Stickers, start seeing signs. There's a lot of stickers around, but as nothing else with tourists. When I spent the stickers, 40-year-old man worked in Shinan, Shibuya, hair salon said. They're creepy. I wish whoever would stop destroying the Shibuya landscape. Some of the residents take them down, only for the delivery 3 later. See how close. This is not worthwhile. Sorry, do I have a... What's my other tab? Can I touch anything? Can I open a new tab? No? Alright. What's this thumb? Can I click this? No, can't click links. That's good. After I first saw 1 or 2 years ago, seems never. Feels like there's more lately. What the? What? Did W2F? There was one under escalator. Hikariwa. Sorry, Hikariwa, not Hikariwa. How the hell did they get down there? I wonder if it's still there. 178. That's another one too. That's crazy. This is a very different feel to the other half of what I played today. Can I click this? No. I'm sure something will come up eventually, right? If I just keep scrolling down. Almost done. I always feel sick when I see that face. Once I threw up saw the stickers. Shit sucks. Hope I put some meats FOAD. Needs to FOAD. I don't know what that means. Oh, fuck that. F off, I died. There we go, got it. We came off, we got in the end. I heard if you scribble on top of the sumo wrestler, it curses you. No one has noticed that's impossible to get the damn things off. It's not my first one today. Stop upping these on-offs. And on. There's a ton of them if you research. Actually, I saw the stickers talking once, and yelling, Doskyo, time for your meds, Grandpa. Somebody, make a Dulude map. Dulude map that lists all the locations. We've had for years. You go to Shibuya and stare right by sumo wrestlers, right? I don't understand. I don't understand this list to go to Shibuya. What is this? What is this? I should put a bunch of cute anime stickers and cute anime girl stickers dead, like Hanoa or Seraton. Is that the one that died? Then all the otaku dorks would move to Akihabara. Would move from Akihabara to Shibuya. I have a Honkatsu Kamiyama. I feel pressure coming from Yoko. It's my prophecy upon you. Someday we'll see sumo judge sticker. True that. What a good use of my time. Wait.
歴史シールはごく一部で話題になっているくらいのものでしかなかった。
This is the most ominous, like, for all the nonsense I just read there, that is an internet escape. I'm sorry. iTunes, Renee. I don't know what Rune is supposed to be. Hachibase, sorry. I love the internet escape. At this point, only a few people were talking about the sumo wrestler stickers.
一体誰が予想できる
Who could have known
こんな気味の悪いシールが
that these ear
後に
stickers
世界を揺るがす大事件の
would mark the beginning
きっかけになるだなんてこと
of a world-changing event? Click. All right.
で、これが今月の7日に起きた事件の週刊誌の特集の画像。
I think that's a good cliffhanger, Eddie. So remember, guys, if you're enjoying the show, make sure to subscribe and, you know, do all the interacting things with the likes and the comments. They help out the channel, and I'm sure we'll play more Chaos Child another day. My voice is slowly going to be lost at this rate. So much reading. Have a good day. Bye. I'm so confused.